Okay, my video cut off. But it's like, I feel like they deserve everything that's coming to them, but on one hand, I feel like almost bad for them because they are obviously just so like possessed by something dark that, they're just so desperate that they don't even, they do know what they're doing, they are accountable, but it's like almost like they're blinded or something because like they can't see that like I'm an innocent person. I mean, I think they do know that on one hand, but okay, so I just I wish my video hadn't cut off because I just wanted to load it like this and not have to put it on a video editor and put them together and blah blah blah. But so last night, so one of my tarot readers happened to mention, there's no coincidence, but she mentioned liquid death, and I have seen these, but I had never gotten one. And I feel that I was being guided last night by my ancestors, my spirit guides, to get one. And I was like, okay, let me set forth my intention. I'm a naturally magical person. And I said, okay. And I chose one. I can't remember which one I was last night. I didn't like the flavor. It tasted like tab. But I set my intention and I said, okay, how about every sip is at least a life, because these people won't quit coming for me. And right away I heard, and I took a sip like right after I said that. I said it out loud actually, but I know they hear my thoughts. But I heard, not audibly, but I heard, take smaller sips. In other words, make it go further. So I did, and then I actually was being stalked at the bus stop last night. I was gonna get on the bus, and this guy just would not leave me be. And I keep telling people like, don't talk to me. I put my hand out, and I mean, because I'm always like very friendly and stuff. But I'm no longer in friendly conversation, making like conversation with people who I know are trying to kill me. I'm not okay with that. And so I'm tired of people playing in my face, and like, I know what you're doing. And so he wouldn't leave me be, and so I decided I would go back into the grocery store and buy another one. And so I bought a different one, and that one actually wasn't sparkling, it was still, and it ended up just being water, and so it didn't taste very good, but the same thing. And so okay, on the first drink, I was sitting at the bus stop at Kroger. There's a bench, like a wooden bench, and so I probably had taken 10 sips, and all these sirens, like however many miles away, maybe within a couple of miles, were like, going off. And then there was like some kind of, I don't know if it was an ambulance or a work truck, but there was some big vehicle over at one of these buildings, and he clued everyone in of their group. He honked his horn in such a way, he went beep, 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 and it was like some kind of code. And all these cars, which are these people, all these cars started filing out. And I was like, whoa, something's happening. And I could tell that it wasn't like, I mean, they were plotting and stuff still, but it wasn't like they were leaving to go like plot and find me later, go ahead of me. It wasn't that normal kind of thing. It was like something happened. And so I was like, my awareness, they made me aware of what my intent had been and how many sips I had had. I mean, I don't know how many sips I had. I had had 7 or 10 or something. And later, I think it was on the second, it might have been on the first bottle. Later, I started just doing whole states, like Arizona, Texas, California, New York, states that I know are part of this. And I'm like, well, that's a good use of my sip. You're knocking out a whole bunch of stuff, right? And I don't have any confirmation, but I think that maybe the 3 ladies that were harassing me, that I have very incriminating evidence in video format, and then I wrote a poem saying make it today, and I'm talking about their judgment. I intuitively feel like something did happen to them. And I had even, like, if you want to say pray, but I had even talked to my spirit guides and said, like, and it would be better for them to like spend many years in jail down the road at some point for the things they're involved in. Like, at least, you know, at least do something in their life that they'll know, like, this is for the way you treated Ocean, and this is for your disrespect, this is judgment. And so I was okay if it isn't like death right now. And anyway, I don't know what happened. I really don't know. It might not be related, but my awareness, I was made aware by my spiritual team, like, you know, you're not just drinking a drink, sweetheart. You're not just, you know, like, you set your intent. And so anyway, I just bought two. I got two different ones tonight. So this one, I like lime and stuff, but I mean, this is serious. I'm not trying to make light of it, but it's called Severed Lime, and yeah, this one's called Killer Cola. So there's like some crazy person here, I think, trying to intimidate me. He's cursing and stuff and acting crazy. He honked and he's yelling at somebody, and I think he's probably trying to scare me, but he's not going to scare me. So anyway, I kind of felt bad for the people on the bus. It wasn't very many people, but they had been waiting when I was coming out of like where I go and do like tanning. They were waiting, and there was also like at least three vehicles that were there in the parking lot waiting for me to come out. And when they saw me come out, they revved up and they were exiting, because now they've got the handlers here at the bus stop on foot getting on the bus with me so they can track me to where I'm going next. So like, I'm very aware that these people are not normal bus people, not in this area. I know what they're here for. And yeah, I just felt like singing, and so I'm like singing. I was singing first. This is going to evade me now. The second one was Luther Vandross, and is it Diana Ross? No, I don't know. Oh no, it's not. It's Cheryl Lynn. You know I need you, babe. Keep on loving me, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I was doing better on the bus. But anyway, but I was just, in the clouds. It was a little lighter than it is now, even though you could still see there's lots of really nice looking clouds. But I just sat down here and I haven't really looked around yet. But it was like, okay, there was a little sticker, and it was a dragon. I asked them earlier, I'm like, so like, I would like to know what your names are and what are you, or what form are you? Are you a dragon or whatever? And anyway, I saw like all kinds of clouds that were like, one looked like a double-headed dragon. I did take a picture of that one, and I was just like so happy, and I was just marveling at like how increasingly I have been made aware of like what my purpose is. These people start doing like loud stuff just to be annoying, but they're such bullies, they are. But it's like, I know I'm in my purpose, and these people can't discourage me. And even though they're all trying to take me out, and it's really like a lot of people, it's like, it might be more than 10,000 people. It might be like into, I mean, I guess, yeah, it could be 1 million. I don't know. But it's a lot of people. I don't mean right here in Richmond, but there's a lot of people all over the world like sending me death magic and, maybe practicing voodoo or whatever. It's significant. And I am, when I first had the vision, that was Dale Miller cutting the woman's head off. That was, that was like, I'm just gonna move a little bit. These people are this man's not right in the head. But, and then there's someone else over here, because they just have to, like, not let me have, a moment to myself. And it's really this person. Yeah. And then if I would go somewhere else, let me tell you, he wouldn't be standing here. But he was just quite a bit closer. And these people are just bullies. But he can hear what I'm saying. I don't really care. I'm going to be posting this. So anyway, I'm a little distracted now with all these people, but magic is real. I set my intentions, and I've written a couple poems about, like, you know, like, my normal would not be to, like, ask for someone to pay with their life for treating me in a really fucked up manner. Yeah. So I have purposed I am going to do this every night until I start seeing my money manifestations roll in, and the shift that has already, like, been at least determined in the spiritual court start to actually manifest itself in the 3D. I'm just gonna over because of how nice the clouds look to me. It's so much prettier in person. Which does make me think, am I? But I've already taken off my little bit of makeup I wear. But maybe I'll go back over here where the yelling guy, you know, he hasn't yelled since I walked away. And he probably will yell when I go and sit back down, because of these tactics. They're such bullying tactics. So anyway, I'm happy. I'm in my purpose. I know my life is safe and guaranteed. I also know, like, this is about, like, stopping a whole ton of human trafficking, and guilty people who are guilty of really heinous things are gonna, like, actually, you know, pay, like, with their lives, and or jail, and or just shame and embarrassment. But children and other innocent people are going to be, like, vindicated whether they're alive still or not. You know, there's some of both, and it's like, yeah, I can see that I would have signed up for this. Like, I miss my kids, and but I'm like, I know I'm going to get my kids back, my innocent children. Like, that's already been confirmed to me. And even if I didn't, and something happened to them, it doesn't mean I don't love them. I love them so much. But my 4 children that I believe are still innocent, they are worth a lot. Every person is. But this is so, like, catastrophic. I have to recognize my 4 children that I want back, so don't take me wrong. It would be okay if something happened to them, like if their dad killed them. You know, I don't want that to happen, and it has been confirmed to me that I will be getting my kids back. But if even that I wouldn't, it's not that I give up on them. It's not that I don't care. And that's what, of course, these gaslighter, awful people would try to pin on what I'm saying. But that's how important this is. That's how important this is. And anyway, I am sharing what I'm gonna do. And I did think also last night about just you know, the gunshots that I hear every night, you know, that's happening, like, in other states, and people are taking themselves out, and there is spiritual, like, retribution being dished out all over and into all the world. And I call judgment on the whole world, starting in Midlothian, which is where I'm staying right now, like where I'm sitting right this moment. And judgment is here, and I am the judgment. Like, they're messing with me, I was the bait, and I'm, like, fucking up their whole program, and they're pissed. And I feel the anger and the hostility and the like murderous intent on many people in the last couple of days, especially because I think that some of them are beginning to see that, wow, like, you're still alive, like, you know, like the lady screaming out the window going by me the other day, you're gonna need a bodyguard. And it's like, I mean, I didn't get to talk to her, of course, but I did post. But, well, I have those, you just can't see them, you know. Y'all are the non-believers, and I just know that it's not just like, it's not like one God, like it's not a man, one God, it's not Jesus, it's not Jehovah, it's not anything like that, it's not Allah. But I believe in, you know, if you want to say God, that's okay. But I believe in the divine. I feel a little bit more comfortable with that, but just it's multiple beings, benevolent beings. I believe in, you know, supernatural, but also in like benevolent, you know, like this whole idea of like don't judge to the point where we don't know what's right and wrong. Well, obviously the fruit of that is showing itself in a vampire culture that's thriving for thousands of years. So I think we need to obviously rethink that, but that doesn't mean that we you know, legislate everything down to the minute details of your clothing like the Mennonites and Amish, because look, they're the ones that are beheading people. But you know, anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm going to set my intent again and do this every night until I start seeing like a real change, because you know, I do not deserve to be unhoused, even though I know me being unhoused is serving, it has served me to be able to understand like the ins and outs of what's the real issue. And it's not like these shelters are like money, it's going to come out too. They're vampires and they are just using it as a tax write-off. They don't really care. And especially like the Christian groups, but all of them. And we're going to find out, or there's going to be evidence, a lot of evidence, and not just in this area, that like the groups that could, you know, could help and were thought to be some refuge were quite the opposite. Anyway, I'm making this video, I'm gonna have to put it with the other one at the start, but I'm making this just as a, you know, testimony, a proof, like this is what was happening. How could you not be scared? How could you keep this is why I'm like the most confident I've ever been in like the spiritual realm, my purpose, the safety of my life, and the things that are going to come out in the future regarding human trafficking and these kind of things. And it's just incredible, honestly. And I'm like, when did like this, I knew this a couple months ago, I knew this maybe, you know, a week ago. Like when did I get to this place where I like completely know like what's going on in such a way that I'm like, it's really been in such incremental fashion that I'm just kind of floored. I'm just kind of like, wow, like, and I just keep getting confirmation after confirmation. And yeah, so I'm very happy actually. And when all this stuff comes out, like it's going to be horrific for like the innocent people in the world. It's going to be like, you know, heart-wrenching and stuff, but like there's another on the other side of that, you know, which might be a few years, once a lot of court hearings and different things and people get put to death and all kinds of stuff, like, but there's like this beautiful new earth, beautiful earth, different than we've ever known it, without oppression. We're gonna understand how oppressed and how much like truly, I was thinking of the phrase, it's a Bible phrase, okay, but I was thinking of the phrase how he sought to, is referring to like Satan, but that is Jesus, but he sought to wear out the saints. And I was thinking, you know, they actually are wearing the saints. If you want to say saints meaning like the innocent, okay, they actually are wearing our energy, whether they are doing it through sex magic and psychic attacks like they have been me, molesting, or by actually like drinking the person's blood or eating their flesh. And so, like, yeah, I'm in my purpose.